Hey everyone, welcome to the Weekend DSP. This is for the week of March 2nd, 2020. And this is an interesting week where most of the events happened near the weekend, and over the weekend is where most of our events happen, starting with Thursday, March 5th, being DSP's first court hearing regarding the bankruptcy. Now, this is just a 3-4-1 meeting with the trustee, with the debtor being DSP under oath and being asked questions that pertain to his bankruptcy case. Now, you might already be aware that I had an inside person at the courthouse where DSP's 3-4-1 meeting was supposed to take place. Now, he had it scheduled at 10 a.m. local time, and there was 8 other people above DSP on the docket, meaning DSP was 9th for that time slot. Now, from my source, it sounded like most of the 3-4-1 meetings were rather quick. This was probably just to determine that the people had filed their paperwork correctly and that they understood what they had filed. There was one other person that was up that same day who also had business assets, and he got asked a lot of detailed questions by the trustee. A lot of questions around how did he earn his money, how did he pay his employees, and things like that. So that gave me some hope, thinking that DSP, when he goes up, because he's claiming to simultaneously not be a business but also gain money from business enterprises, also claiming $5,000 a month in business expenses, I was hoping when it was finally DSP's turn that it was going to be a grilling session, that we would get some piggy wigglies, some squirming from Phil as he tries not to lie under oath to the trustee. During the whole event, my inside person was letting me know that Phil has not arrived yet. He was keeping an eye out for Phil and said he might even snap a photograph of Phil if he saw him in the courthouse, none of which is against the rules or laws of Seattle, Washington, or Renton, Washington, as far as we can tell. But DSP did an extremely outstanding move that I don't think anyone predicted. And that was, he didn't show up to his 341 meeting at all. His lawyer was not there either. They were represented by a stand-in who had represented the 2 people that went ahead of DSP on the docket. So how bad is it for DSP not to show up to the 341 meeting? Well, it doesn't seem to be that bad. The stand-in requested an extension and it was granted. They moved the new meeting to March 26th. Now, it looks like the court hearings have been updated, and there appears to be 3 other people on the same day for March 26th, all of whom had also previously skipped their previous meeting for the 341. While the ramifications might not be that steep this early on, there's a couple of things to keep in mind during this whole bankruptcy proceeding. Number one, that the longer DSP delays the Chapter 7 being approved or denied, the more he accrues interest on the debts that he already has, because these are secured through loans and credit cards where the amount is owed increases the longer that you maintain a balance. Now, DSP might want to stay in this bankruptcy limbo as long as possible because while you are in bankruptcy, there is a stay on collections on your debts. Meaning, even if he doesn't get Chapter 7 or even Chapter 13, in these weeks that it's taking until there's a hearing or a meeting and he's approved or denied, he can't be foreclosed on. He can't be sued for the balances that he owes. But the most important thing I would say is wasting the court's time by not filing early to say, hey, can I reschedule? Instead, by just not showing up, he kind of runs out of a little bit of good faith that he has in the court. This might lead to the trustee being a little bit harsher on him. It might lead to the trustee diving a little bit deeper into DSP's financials. And these effects will just expand the more and more he delays this if he chooses to skip the 26th meeting as well. Now, with the way DSP had filed his paperwork for the bankruptcy forms, he's made it seem like he's pretty much very on the line of being approved for Chapter 7 with the way that he's magically made his expenses tank his take-home money to be just below that mean income number for Chapter 7. if you're on the line, like you're a 50-50 coin flip, I think you'd want to have the court like you a little bit so that way they're more lenient towards giving you that approval stamp on your paperwork. Now, as to why DSP skipped the meeting, that's between DSP, the court, and his lawyer. We have no clue. It could have been because I said that I had a person already at the courthouse ready to tweet at me what was going on. It could have been DSP was afraid that the transcripts would leak out and he didn't want to do that just yet. It could have been he hadn't filed his taxes properly, which was the previous Begathon's fundraising goals, was to raise money so that way he can pay his tax guy to file his taxes. Or even it could be something as innocent as DSP's lawyer couldn't be there and DSP wasn't confident to go in by himself. DSP might not have trusted the stand-in who was supposed to fill in for Rochelle that day. It's all speculation. It looked like it was going to be a day of major gold dust, and instead all we got was Gugats. Now, as far as the March 26th date is concerned for the rescheduling, I will say I am not going to publicly announce my person being there until later on, maybe when things have started to go underway and I've got confirmation that DSP is actually there, just in case I actually did scare him off this previous time. I know a lot of people have been interested in whether or not the same person would be able to be there or not, and I really can't confirm or deny right now. And I probably won't confirm or deny until, again, it's the day of and we are right at start time. The other thing with the March 26th date is coronavirus is spreading in the United States, and Seattle, Washington is kind of one of the hotbed spots right now for the disease. If public officials don't really plateau the spread of the virus and it keeps expanding and expanding, you're going to see more and more things shut down in the area. And this is happening all over the United States and even all over the world. Restaurants are being shut down, bars are being shut down, concerts are being canceled, flights are being canceled. Workers who can work from home are being encouraged to work from home. It is possible, I don't know how likely, that the courthouse and public hearings could be suspended. Going back to the earlier point, that would buy DSP more time where he can't be foreclosed on, he can't be sued, but at the same time, his interests will continue to accrue, and the courts might be a little miffed that we have to delay everything where we could have done it, 2 weeks ago and been over and done with. Now, however, it does look like it is possible that 341 meetings can be conducted over a phone call or a teleconference, like through Skype, at least according to Kiwi Farms. Now, that would kind of invalidate me having an inside person at the courthouse, but I would hope that those conversations and meetings are at least transcribed, if not the audio recordings made available, because that's was an understanding I had about the previous 341 meeting in case my person couldn't go, was that there would be audio recordings of DSP in the courthouse and being called to the stand and put under oath. Friday, Phil's day back from streaming after his break day was changed from Tuesday to Thursday. He played Street Fighter 2, well, not just 2, but Street Fighter in the evening like he usually does on a Friday night. And Review Tech USA seemed to be streaming at the same time and thought it would be a good idea to give DSP money, hint, hint, it's not, and ask him to come onto his podcast in the middle of his stream. Now, DSP is extremely inflexible in changing what is currently on schedule to something else. He's scheduled Street Fighter for 2 hours tonight, Rich. He's not going to move away from it. But Phil proceeds to blow off Rich in a way that DSP kind of made it seem like he's the bigger man than Review Tech USA. Now, I don't mean just in physical size. I mean in internet clout, I guess. Saying things like Rich is just a dumb drama channel. Now, I may not be perfectly good at math, but DSP's only at 188,000 subs on YouTube, and Review Tech's sitting at 858,000 subs on YouTube, so it's pretty easy to look at which one's got bigger clout. And Review Tech kind of talked about it on his stream. He was like, I've had people bigger than DSP. I've interviewed people who were up and coming and became bigger than DSP. So I guess he didn't seem too miffed by getting stiffed by DSP on the potential podcast interview. interview. If you guys want to see more on the Review Tech USA versus Darkside Phil streams, Mighty D has an excellent video on it. It's about 15 minutes long. I recommend you go check him out. Our last bit of news comes on Sunday, March 8th, where DSP reveals that Anonymous is stepping down as a mod, and Straight Cash Homie, who's basically paid his way into being a mod, will become a full-time mod.
I'm sure many of you who are stream regulars and regular viewers and attendees know who that Anonymous is. Officially, he will be, as of the end of today, stepping down as a full-time moderator. What I'd like, ideal situation here would be maybe we could find like 2 people who want to do like part-time moderating and can help out. That would be nice. Now, first of all, Straight Cash Homie has been a moderator now on a trial basis for about 2 weeks. However, he's not here all the time, and he wasn't expected to be here all the time. He actually was set up as someone who was supposed to be here, part-time a few times a week when he's available. And by the way, Straight Cash Homie was brought on as a temporary trial mod before we even knew that Anonymous was going to be stepping down. So what I'd say is Straight Cash Homie's good stuff, 2 thumbs up, but he's not going to be able to fill the shoes of that Anonymous. He can't be here that often. All right.
Now, DSP points out that Straight Cash's schedule does not permit him to have the same coverage that Anonymous provided in DSP's streams. So it's great to know that DSP requires his mods to submit schedules to him of what streams they can and can't cover. But that also means DSP is now on the lookout for more mods, and he has some strict requirements on what he expects his mods to be able to do for him. In addition to what DSP says in the clip, he also wants his mods to give him money. Duh. You can look at most of the mods and see that even prior mods are also still on his all-time leaderboards for Twitch TV, and how current mods have given him shit tons of money, and how mods like Straight Cash Homie gave shit tons of money before they became a DSP mod. DSP also requires his mods to check in on the Detractor channels and act as spies. I have the video of DSP encouraging his mods to do gay ops, and we had the what was his name? DeChonkla, and the bottom line is that guy doing ops for DSP. And also DSP instructing his mods to watch the restreams and the videos so that way they can be on the up and up on memes before they permeate and fill DSP's chat and he doesn't know what people are talking about. Even though he frequently doesn't know what people are talking about. He doesn't want people making memes that he doesn't understand. And then if he does understand them, he wants to ban them. And that does it for the week of March 2nd. I will be working on the March 9th video rather shortly after this one. So hope you guys don't mind back-to-back releases. And really sorry for this one being late, but starting a new job, it's going well, but it's keeping me busy. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope to see you in the next stream or video.